All right, we're out here on a new piece of ground today. Never have stepped down in the river, but it's middle of December. It's warming up to about 40 degrees, so figured it'd be a good time to get down and play in the water. Let me show you what we're going to be using. So, going after primarily some mink, maybe a few muskrats, and pick up a few coon, but what we're using, I'm going to use tile spade, going to use that to dig my pocket sets with. Traps, I'm going to throw in some single spring 160s. In my pack here I've got obviously my 1.5 bridger with some HAGz on them. A roll of wire. I've got some stakes. In my pouches, this is my bucket that I always carry on the side of it. It's got my bait in there. I got my markers that you've seen me use for a number of times. Those are just simple trail markers. Center pouch is where I keep my bait holders. On the side, I've got some lure. I've got some Caven's Moonshine. I've also got some Dunlap muskrat lure. Some Lennon's muskrat lure. I got all kinds of different lures. Parsnips, carrots. That's pretty much as far as the bait and stuff goes. A knife on the side. As far as supportability and whatnot, I'm using 3/8 inch rods for the 1.5s and for the 160s for bottom edge sets. Might put in a few drain tiles with the brackets on them, so you can do portable tile sets. You can also do like the portable pockets as well. I don't have any of those with me today. But that's pretty much it. So we're going to jump down here. Again, never stepped foot in this water before, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but let me show you it. Then we'll get down there and make some stuff. Alright, I've told you before, I really like getting into cover, and this is what I guess you could say I'm referring to most of the time. When it's real thick like this, the muskrat's got somewhere to go and feed where he feels safe. Because what we're doing, I mean, we're telling him to stop and feed by these baited sets. And you know, there's tons of birds of prey and hawks, owls, you know, all that sort of stuff, but it's just one of those things, man. You gotta get him comfortable, at least I think. Get these ready, and we can stick them in. There, a little bit better. Alright, this one we're going to stick right in this general area here. Looks to me like they've been feeding through here a little bit. We'll put 2 here. There we go. Roughly 9-10 inches above the water surface is usually where I'm at. That's it. I should have a pair of participants tomorrow, or not. All right. All right, so what we're doing here is really we're just running a little fun mixed bag water line. The really cool thing about this setup is that, man, we're going from coon sets to mink sets to rat sets, and we're really not doing anything different with our traps. We're using the same trap, same setup. The only thing that we're doing differently is really our anchoring system. So we're using stakes or wire where we believe we've got coon, and then I'm using rods if I'm doing baited sets. But man, if you don't have the rods, you can simply grab a stick or whatever and just wire it right to a stick, and you got a baited set in that fashion. I'll show one of those. It's just really a pretty fun way of trapping, and you don't need to carry all this stuff, man. You don't need to carry a tile spade and rods or any of that stuff. I mean, you can use a lot of makeshift stuff out on the line. Like right here, I'm just going to use our stake. I'm going to wallow out a hole for the pocket. You don't need to use a tile spade if you don't want to carry stuff, or, you know, long ways from a truck or whatever. But I don't want to wallow it out too much, because I want the opening to be fairly tight. And then I'm going to bait this with some smelt. Kind of my bait of choice when we're doing when we've got mink and coon in the area. Oh, that looks good right there. Oh yeah. All right, now we're going to take a little bit of our smelt. Probably a little too much. I know I got one. But we're going to stuff that hole full of smelt. Then the last thing we're going to do, we're just going to slick this up just a little bit. A little added eye appeal. Man, looks mighty yummy to me. But, so there you go, mixed bag, man. And right here, pretty nice little spot for a bottom edge set. So we'll drop in a bottom edge set. But if you're using a rod-based system, really adds to the versatility here on the line. And again, I've said it 100 times, man. I don't care if you're using my HAGz system or somebody else's system. You know, use what's right for you. But man, it's hard to beat this setup here as far as speed goes. And I'm speaking with a rod in general, again, not necessarily mine. Alright, we need to go down about 3 or 4 inches. Okay, so I'm right up against the bottom there. It's pretty good spot. I'd like to be a little bit more on the bump out, but those are cut under the bank there, so this should be all right. Should be a good spot. All right, so we're just walking down this little bit of the river here, and came across something that I think a lot of people may overlook, maybe not, but especially for a new trapper. When you see openings like that in the grass, that's what you're after. That right there, to me, is as good as a feed bed set almost. So I'm not 100% sure how to set this up yet, but I know that the mink and the rats are coming back up through there, and man, that's a blind set. That's a blind set foothold all day waiting to happen. Now, if that was deeper, I'd probably throw a body grip in there. Or maybe I'd even do a baited set right here. Again, giving that muskrat somewhere where he's comfortable to go. I could do a body grip set in and out, which, you know what? Yeah, why don't we do that? Here we go. So we're gonna use a rod as a stake there. And okay, so we're gonna move this just slightly. Get that a little bit more centered, turn that up in there just a little bit. I don't like the triggers, so I'm gonna adjust this real quick with the triggers, put my safety on. What I want is this bottom wire right below the water surface. I want it to be basically a trip wire. Safety off. Cover the top there. 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 Boy, that's pretty. All right, so there we have it. And we have a bottom edge set that we put in over on this side. So, getting her set up. I think we got 10 traps in here, and that'll be it for now.